Cardano ADA has moved 5.5% since Sunday, and on our way to the upside, we ended up retesting the 50 EMA, but ultimately we ended up getting rejected. And we tried to push towards the 200 EMA, but we never really had the momentum, given that on our stochastic RSI we were overbought for a few hours. So we never really had the buying power to push the price of ADA towards that 200 EMA. And yeah, now it looks like we are now on the move to the downside, where I am targeting ADA to potentially reach anywhere between 66 cents and 68 cents within this WXY structure that I talked about in my previous video. Now, we do need some further confirmations that we are on the move to the downside, and one of which is for this local low here at 69 cents. That needs to be broken, and that'll be a further confirmation that we are on the move to the downside. But in the meantime, what we can do is track this wave structure that's currently forming within our wave Y, and it looks like a WXY structure is forming within this Y wave. Now, as for this X wave, it looks like that has potentially been completed as well. So one check that I can do is to check if those minimum requirements have been met, and that X wave typically retraces anywhere between 50% and 88.2% of our wave W. And as you can see, the price of ADA ends up falling within that range. So that's one confirmation that, this X wave is now complete. And another confirmation would be to check this wave pattern as well that's been formed within that X wave, which is a WXY structure. And so what we can do also is to see if those minimum requirements have been met for this Y wave. And that Y wave would typically retrace anywhere between 1 and 1.236, which it does. As you can see, the price of ADA ends up falling within that range. So yeah, to me, that looks like the X wave has now been complete and we are now on the move to the downside. And so what we can also do then is to check our requirements for that Y wave. And that Y wave would typically be a 1 to 1.236 retracement of our wave W. So as you can see, the price of ADA will fall within this range here between 65 cents and 66 cents. And so yeah, I do anticipate ADA to probably fall within this range here. And so yeah, that'd be interesting to track, unless of course something speaks the market and ADA goes even deeper. Now, with that being said, we've got the indicators that are signaling that we are bearish. For example, smart money concept, which is indicating that we have a weak low at 69 cents. And so the likelihood of that being broken is likely. And yeah, that kind of falls in line with my analysis, with ADA falling within this range here. Now, what is interesting is on our stochastic RSI, we are oversold. And so we could potentially see a bounce to the upside. Now, should that be the case, that 50 EMA is something that I'll be targeting. And should we reach that 50 EMA, then I do anticipate ADA to get rejected at the 50 EMA and continue to see moves to the downside. Now, what's interesting about the accumulation and distribution is that we have seen a decrease in accumulation. So essentially, people are distributing at ADA, i.e. the retailers are selling. And so short term, we are slightly bearish. However, since we have people selling, on the other side, we're going to have people buying. And so I do potentially see a lot of people purchasing ADA at this lower range here at, between 66 cents and 69 cents. And that would be a good opportunity to be dollar cost averaging, in my personal opinion. Now, as far as the 4-hour chart goes, we do have the price of ADA below both the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA, which is bearish. And what is interesting is the stochastic RSI is also indicating that we are within the oversold conditions, given that we are below 50. And so should we see that bounce to the upside, again, that would be interesting to see if ADA actually retests that 50 EMA. And should that be the case, then I do see ADA get rejected at the 50 EMA and to continue to see moves to the downside. However, I don't see ADA actually retesting that 50 EMA, given that, this X wave looks to be complete. Now, as far as the smart money concept goes, we do have a strong low at 58 cents. And so I think that kind of falls in line with the Fed meeting that's going to take place tomorrow. I think everyone's kind of anticipating that the Fed will pause the rates. And so I don't think, the markets will be spooked and there's going to be too much volatility within the market. So yeah, I don't really anticipate it to fall below that 58 cent mark, unless of course, the unexpected happens. But I doubt that would be the case, in my personal opinion. Now, the daily chart also tells a similar story because we are below the 200 EMA and the 50 EMA. And so we are bearish. However, on our stochastic RSI, we are within oversold conditions. And so I do anticipate a reversal once ADA actually reaches this zone here between 66 cents and 68 cents. Now, that is a 5% drop, and so it will be some decent profits really for people to be selling and buying at these lower ranges here. And then, of course, we'll see a reversal and see moves to the upside, where people can then take profits on the move to the upside. So yeah, that's just my quick update on Cardano ADA. As things stand right now, we are still bearish short term, and I'm still targeting this range here that I've been talking about for the last couple of days. However, ultimately, I do see a reversal happening at some point and see ADA on a move to the upside, and that'd be something interesting to track in the meantime. And so yeah, hopefully you found this video useful, and if you did, then feel free to hit that like button, and if you're new, feel free to subscribe. Take it easy, people. Peace.